What is up, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys an updated Battlin Boxer deck profile.
Don't lose your way, your mind, we have to be as one.
If you guys have been watching this channel for any length of time, you understand Battlin Boxer is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's actually the first deck I ever took to a regional, so overall I'm finally glad that I found a solid list for the new format for you guys to actually show you guys. So first off, we have the 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Glassjaw and the 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Switch Hitter. These cards are your bread and butter. Glassjaw, whenever it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, it adds a Battlin Boxer monster except Glassjaw from your graveyard to hand. Typically it's going to be this guy. This guy, when Switch Hitter, whenever he's normal summon, grabs a Battlin Boxer from your graveyard. The downside is that you can only special summon Battlin Boxer monsters during that turn. That does limit a lot of the creativity you can do with the deck, that card's restriction, and that's unfortunate, but overall I feel like you never run 3 or less these guys. Glassjaws, like, these are kind of like your bread and butter. And the only other Battlin Boxer monsters I play are Battlin Boxers, 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Shadow and 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Spar. A lot of you guys might not see Headgear here and you think I'm crazy for saying I don't play it. The reasoning is, with this particular build, I'm not trying to, Headgear doesn't do a lot for me because I have other cards that I need to see in my hand in order to go off. I feel like these 2 cards kind of contribute to the way this deck plays more because I can special summon them. So whenever, during your main phase, you can special summon Shadow from your hand by detaching an Exceed material from Battlin Boxer monster. And then special summon it. The neat thing is that triggers this guy's effect, but that also triggers your Letio's effect as well. Spar can special summon itself whenever you control a Battlin Boxer monster, but you have to skip your battle phase. That's not really that bad because you can, the way it's worded, you can actually do it main phase too, which is nice. And for the new engine I'm actually testing, we have 3 copies of Ignite Templar and 3 copies of Ignite Paladin. This is a new engine I'm testing, but the reasoning behind these and the synergy, because as you guys probably know, I'm all about these synergy is important. Whenever Ignite monsters search any fire type warrior monster, which means you can, these are actually extra copies of Rhoda for your Battlin Boxer monsters, which is really nice. And the level 4 also helps because it allows you to obviously go into rank 4s like Rong Dominiad with the greatest of ease. Next up, for the other Ignites, we have 3 copies of Gallant and 3 copies of Veteran. I felt like the reasoning behind these is their Searchable Virus Summoner's Art and the rank 6 pool is just better than the rank 5 pool. Overall, I think the cards you can play are just better, and that's why these are here and not the level 5s. And for the only other 2 Battlin monsters I play 2 copies of Archfiend Eccentric. Archfiend Eccentric is really important because not only is she a good solid scale 7, but she also allows you to clear back row. This deck does not like the back row. This deck hates all those Mirror Force cards, just will cripple you. That's why these cards are in here to clear back row, and she's not bad. Her Exile Force effect is also not bad either. And for the last 3 monsters, I play 1 copy of Rescue Rabbit and 2 copies of Angel Trumpeter. Rescue Rabbit is really good because obviously allows you to grab any 2 vanillas from your deck. You play level 4s, you play 8. Trumpeter is this. I honestly think this is the best card to come out of Shining Victories. It's a level 4 vanilla tuner, so you can grab it from deck with Unexpected Die and do all these other things. Overall, I feel like these cards are absolutely amazing. And if you get these, you should be able. You open with any of these first turn, you should have a nutty board. Now for the spells, we have 1 Regeki. Regeki is really important in this deck because you have to clear those monarchs off the field in order to, if they're playing domain monarchs, you kind of have to clear the monarchs off the field so you can play Yugioh. The 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Twin Twisters is the same reasoning as Eccentric. You have to play this, but the nice thing about this is it does get Glassjaws out of your hand. So say your opponent has 2 trap spells and traps, and you have Glassjaw Switch Hitter in hand, you can Twin Twister away the back row, normal summon, and just special Switch Hitter, and then special summon the Glassjaw back. So Twin Twisters is really good in this deck. I prefer it over MST. Then we have the 2 copies of Unexpected Die. This card is absolutely amazing. I'm honestly considering bumping it to 3 just for consistency. But anyway, this is basically just a Hero Lives for vanilla monsters without the cost, and it allows you to grab Angel Trumpeter and any of your level 4 Ignites. It can be that if you have a play to go into Rong Dominiad, it can be that last monster you need to just, lock down and win the game. Then for the search cards, we have 1 Rhoda and 3 Summoner's Art. These are basically for consistency reasons. 3 Summoner's Art for 6 targets is kind of like, I like it that way. Rhoda's obvious, you play a boatload of targets. And for the traps, I only play 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill. I actually like Breakthrough Skill in this deck because, Battlin Boxers are very vulnerable to cards like, remove all. We all know that cards like Ignister, Castell, etc. Breakthrough Skill is really good against those cards, and I like it over Fiendish Chain because it's not as vulnerable to Twin Twisters. And then for the last two traps, I play one Solemn Warning and one Vanity's Emptiness. In my opinion, Solemn Warning is probably one of the best trap cards in the game right now, and Vanities and Yugioh is still a fun and neat combo that really can hinder your opponent and not allow them to play. Now for the extra deck, we have we have the obligatory 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Yugioh and 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. These 2 cards are pretty stable since this guy came out. Yugioh, whenever it would be when a Battlin Boxer monster would be destroyed by a card effect, and detach material instead, and it's a continuous effect, which means it'll trigger some of your glass jaws. And then the other thing is that every time an exceeding shows detach, it gains 800 attack. This is your boss monster of the deck. Kaiser is really good because it can grab what Kaiser does whenever it bites the dust, it special summons Battlin Boxer monsters up to the materials underneath it. And every turn, you can grab a Battlin Boxer monster from your grave or your hand and attach it. So a neat thing you can do is if this thing has 3 materials under it and you have 2 ignites out, you can bash this into opponent's monster and then just go Rognominiad. So it's pretty neat. Now for the rank 6 pool, you guys probably saw this coming already, but 1 copy of Beatrice. This card is being able to make this is absolutely amazing in the deck because it allows you to get your glass jaws in your graveyard. It allows you to, also you can dump breakthrough skills as well. This card is absolutely an amazing combo piece and I love it to pieces. Next up for the other rank 6s, we have 1 M7 and 1 Photon Strike Balancer. Believe it or not, Photon Strike Balancer is actually really good. A lot of the one of the testing hands I had, I actually made this in Stardust Dragon. M7 is really good because it can loot back your a lot of your combo pieces. If you like Utopia Beyond, you can play it over this. Although I think I do play it. You can also play the Gusto Emerald as well if you don't want to play that M7. We have 1 copy of Castell. Castell loves Castell's life, so I don't talk too much about it. And of course, it wouldn't be an Ignite or a Battlin Boxer list without this guy, number 86, Rognominiad. This guy, if you drop this guy with 4 or 5 materials, which is not an unreasonable thing to do in this deck, you're probably going to win the game. When it has 4 materials, your opponent can't normal or special summon monsters. When it has 5, you can nuke your opponent's entire field. This card is absolutely amazing. Then we have the Utopia Brigade. We have the 1 Utopia Beyond, the 1 Utopia, and the 1 Utopia Lightning. Utopia Beyond is an absolutely amazing card because you can drop this and then put your opponent's monster to 0, so it allows other OTKs. It also has another neat effect that allows you to reuse your Utopia monsters from the graveyard. And these are all self-explanatory. Cosmos exists. It gets over a lot of annoying stuff. Now for the Synchros, we play 1 copy of Stardust Dragon. Stardust is a card I've kind of gone back and forth on in Battlin Boxer because Yugioh is kind of has problems getting over the biggest destruction. But the biggest thing with Stardust Dragon is it allows you to stop cards like Pendulum Sorcerer or Twin Twisters for your scales, so it's important for those reasons. And it's just an all in all, it's in general good card. Then we have the 1 copy of Ignister. Ignister is, if you can go into it, you need to play it. The card's absolutely amazing. There's so many situations where this card gets me out of. And then, of course, for the last Synchro Monster, we have the 1 copy of Scarlight, Red Dragon Archfiend. This card in Yugioh is amazing. And not only that, the other neat thing to note is that it only blows up effect monsters. So if you make this and nuke the field, your Ignite monsters won't count, which means you can clear your opponent's field and just attack game. So anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think of this new Battlin Boxer deck list. Do you think there's some changes to make? Do you like the new list? Let me know down below. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you guys for watching. This is Storm, signing out.